Still in England, let's move over to the FA Cup. The FA Cup was played over the weekend, and there is a lot of controversy surrounding the FA Cup. I know Collins will feel hard done for the calls and the rest of that. But Collins might be a bit biased because he's an interested party in the FA Cup final. But I will start with Solomon. Solomon, what do you make of that final? And do you think the calls in that final took away from the quality of the final that we saw?
Um, to be honest, I think that overall, both of them were not exceptional. To be honest, they were right. You would have expected maybe when there was a change with Ryan Checky coming on and whatnot. The match was just did not live up to the expectation or the hype or whatnot. Now, the calls, the penalty calls, I genuinely think that the referee made a series of mistakes, right? And this is what we always clamor in competition, especially in that type of level that you are at. You cannot afford to make the wrong call because it will affect the overall play, and that's exactly what we saw. Kuzanov should have gotten a red card. I think he did that after a yellow or something, right? That should have been a penalty. That should have been you cannot make such decisions in a title of that magnitude. Do you understand? You can't do that because you're obviously good. We have seen these things happen over and over and over. How clubs will be undone by refereeing decisions, and then we cut it out after the match, and there's nothing that can be changed because obviously the match has been played, and that's the end. So we need referees that can actually do the right thing at the right time. And yes, Chelsea, they are right to actually ask for penalties because those were clear-cut penalties. Three of them, three in one match, a final for that matter. No, 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 no. It's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. It's completely wrong because imagine if he gave even one. If he gave even one of those penalties, then most likely there's a huge chance that the game would have extended, to extra time and penalties or whatnot, right? The match would have extended because, as I said, both of them were not exactly exceptional. They're not exactly exceptional. Even the goal, you saw the way the goal came about, right? But these fine margins, they determine a lot. They determine a lot, and Chelsea tried as much as possible. In fact, I genuinely think that they did well. They did well to be able to hold up Man City in the way that they did, right? I mean, you would have expected that maybe a 2-0 or even a 3-0 would have come on, especially because he invested the bulk display of the main players, against Brentford, right? You'd have expected that Man City would go all gun blazing, but that's not exactly what happened because Chelsea were able to contain them. In fact, I guess say Chelsea were the better side in terms of possession in the second half. However, when I say both teams were not exceptional, I think they are not exceptional in terms of the creation of chances and in terms of trying to score. Actually, it is not. It is one thing to hold possession, right? It is another thing to create very good chances for you to score goals. They're two different things, and both teams did not live up to that expectation. And you know, again, as I said, fine man, you have to ensure that you take those little chances that you see. So the little chance that Anton Semenyo, the back flip and he scored, right? Again, if Chelsea had been given at least one of those penalty calls, of course the game would have changed. The game would have changed, and I think that Man City would probably have lost the match because that means that momentum would have tilted more towards Chelsea, considering the way that they were holding up more possession of the ball than Man City. Right? They had more possession of the ball than Man City. They were better in terms of the way they were holding the ball. Both teams just did not create the chances that they needed to create in order to score goals. And if you look at it, because you have someone like Joao Pedro, who is the third highest goal scorer in the league, if I'm not mistaken, and has obviously shown that he can score goals. If you're not giving him the necessary balls to be able, if you're not creating chances to be able to score goals, then that is obviously not going to happen. And that's what we saw in the FA Cup. Again, another thing is I think that in terms of the team that just wants it more, Chelsea have obviously not had a very good run of fixtures in the last couple of matches, right? But then again, they also did not, to a large extent, show the desire to want to win. It is still telling of the attitude. If you look at it now, if you think about it, look at the Chelsea side that played against Bayern in 2020. Look at the Chelsea side that played against Man City in 2021. Look at the Chelsea side that played against PSG, and they just concluded FIFA Club World Cup final. Right? When you look at those things, the attitude is different. Was Kopama even in that match? I don't think so. The players want to step up to ensure that they win something for the club. This crop of players, except thankfully they brought in Xabi Alonso, except something happens, nah, I don't think they're doing so much again next season. But yeah, the calls were obviously gotten wrong, and that greatly affected the outcome of the match.
Okay, Collins, I mean, you are an interested party in this matter. Um, Apart from the calls, do you think Chelsea did enough to be able to say, if not for those calls, they would have probably won?
Um, I I mean I sat here last 2 weekends and I was blaming West Ham for not doing much apart from begging VAR not to chop off their goal. You understand? They had to like wait wait that long before they score the equalizer. I mean, if they are taking the lead against Arsenal, they will not be begging VAR to chalk off their last minute goal. So I find myself in a similar position right now because if we had scored, if we had scored from open play, you understand, we will not be shouting we were robbed up and down because maybe the score would have been 1-1 and the robbery we'll be talking about is the winner, maybe it's 2-1 to the a go to a penalty to score 2-1. That's if we had scored from open play, but we didn't do that. And again, I felt like the second half wasn't that bad. The second half wasn't bad at all because we were the better side. And I don't want to talk about Kujanov two potential penalty incidents. You understand? The first one was on Joao Pedro, and the second was on Hatu. You understand? Two of them should have been a penalty. And the on-field referee, if the on-field referee didn't see it, how about VAR? VAR didn't see it either. You understand? These are the issues. You understand? These are the issues. I feel like this is where Marty has almost 1,000 counts be how many crimes have been committed against eternity. You understand? It's 116, but I'm not joking. So these are the issues, and I feel like that's gone because at this point, every match Chelsea plays after 5 minutes we move on. After 5 minutes we move on. After 5 minutes, we don't have time to dwell on it because we are not afforded that luxury. You understand? This season is over. You understand? It's a privilege you get to play the FA Cup final with Manchester City. You understand? I was expecting maybe 4-0 to Manchester City, 3-0 to Manchester City, but they had to win us with Wuru Wuru. And it doesn't even make sense because we worked our way to this, you understand? This was our last chance to end the trophy on the high note, you understand? Because the going by the structure, going by the what this club is known for. We are known for trophies. No matter how small it is, every season we win a trophy. We just work our way. We rugged our way to win either one or two trophies. You understand? And the fact that we have not been able to win anything this season is just very disappointing. And we might end up 13th on the EPL table because we're currently 10th. You understand? We might not even go to the Conference League. You might not go to the Europa League. Might not go to anywhere. You understand? And I don't know. Maybe it can be a blessing in disguise, but right now, I'm not seeing the blessing. I'm not seeing the blessing right now. It's in next season, and it's sad because this is not the way we want our season to end. I felt like the FA Cup final was where we can at least do something, give our boys morale, and because if we had won that trophy, you understand, obviously confidence will be there. But seeing the way the things turned out, you understand, and Van not helping our case and Ref not helping our case, it's we can what can we do? We can just feel sad and move on. You understand? So I don't want to I really don't want to dwell much on this match because if I'm going to be remembering how the match went and everything, it's not going to make sense. You get. So I felt like Manchester City didn't win us clear, they didn't win us fair, they didn't win us they didn't win us clear. It was not a fair result to Chelsea, you understand. Everybody watched the match, everybody saw what happened. You understand? So you cannot have even Mr. Solomon is agreeing with the fact that there should have been a penalty in that match, and that's the height of it. You understand? If Mr. Solomon can agree that there should have been a penalty in that match, that's to show you that there should have been a penalty in that match. You understand? But let's not talk about it. Let's just move on because I'm choosing to move on. You understand? There are other good news to talk about, and we'll see Manchester City next season. Thank you.
Okay, that's
I
fantastic.
mean, I'm an honest football fan now. I'm an honest football fan. I'm not coming to tell you lies. I mean, I've said it before. I mean, that inconsistency that inconsistency with VAR, that's the problem. And I said it that what wants to call this thing out? It's banter. It's because you people like banter too much. That's why. That same Kuzanov committed a last man foul on Kai Havertz in the second leg. Arsenal Man City, they said we were complaining. We should have tried to score. We did not take our chances. When we call these things out, ensure that you also call it out. But no,
Two
everybody wants
things,
to banter.
two things,
It's that banter that
two
is
things can
killing
be
us.
true. Two
Oh,
things can be
okay.
true. Two things can be true.
Okay, make you see now. Make you
Arsenal
see
did
now.
not take their chances. Same way Chelsea did not take their
Okay.
chances. No,
You see
Arsenal did
this
not
thing
take
now.
their chances. Same way
See
Chelsea did
now.
not take their chances.
I'm just
Two things
saying.
can be true.
Okay, well, that